Heard you might pop up a cosign.
Let's go. Roll there, baby. Let's go. Let's go. This is the big one. This is the big one.
What are the things that teams can afford to tinker with at this stage of the season, Clark, compared to later in the year?
I think rotations are still things you can work on, and sometimes out of necessity, whether it's injury or...
Davis finds Junior. And he lobs it up and slammed it home. And a basketball net.
So much work through tough defense and still found a way to get it up and down. You know, you look at Anthony Davis, you watch him play, and he just does so much good stuff on the floor. Scores the ball inside and outside, can defend at the rim or on the perimeter. He really is the complete package.
Here's Schroeder. And here's Junior outside. And that's good. His first bucket of the game. Well, NBA players have been spokesmen for Kia for quite some time now. It was announced that Junior will be the latest player to take that role.
And I'll tell you, whenever someone mentions the NBA and Kia, I can't help but think of when Blake Griffin dunked over the car in the dunk contest. Now, maybe we'll get to see Junior try and recreate that at some point.
And with Davis, as you said, it's the scoring, but it's also the defense.
No question about that, VA. I mean, it's rare to see a player that's so complete at his age. He's still really young as a basketball player, easily one of the top 5 guys in the league, and I think he's got an MVP in his future, too.
Pass to Caruso. Back to Junior. Fires the three. Another miss by Junior. San Antonio trailing here. Gay outside. And that misses. That would have put him up.
Boy, he's got to be disappointed in the result there. I mean, the defender really didn't make any impact at all.
From the arc. Offensive board. And finished off by Davis.
Oh, Davis, so dominant, so strong, so athletic, so skilled. He got everything he wanted right there.
Outside Murray. Gay outside. Just 5 to shoot. From outside the arc. Count it. His 3rd and 5 attempts.
So far, he's been dominant this period, making the most of his opportunity.
Junior outside. Beyond the arc. Drills it from deep. Junior's got 6.
And you think through the years of all the great players who have done spots for Gatorade. Well, next up on that list is going to be Junior. It was announced he'll be their new spokesman.
How about that? That's a lot of faith that Gatorade is showing to Junior. They only sign elite players across all sports to represent them.
And that's how you up the ante. Come right back at him.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
Now here's Murray. Pass to Johnson. Here's the 3. It's not going to go for him. In transition. And here's Junior outside. And another 3 for the Lakers.
Monster quarter for him. He's put the team on his back, trying to carry them to the W.
Outside Mills. Back to Murray. Pass to Pirtle. Here's Johnson. He's got 5. Now Mills from deep. That shot off the mark. From deep, Junior, and the three-pointer goes. And now a 9-point Los Angeles lead.
And adding to this lead right now, riding a wave of momentum.
Yeah, you get the sense that they're going to start stretching this lead out a little bit.
Picked by Pirtle. So both teams making some changes. Well, Los Angeles shooting right around 57%. Very efficient so far in the first. San Antonio's gone 4 of 9 from beyond the three-point line in this first quarter. To the right side. Knocked away. And it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. The Lakers making a switch here. Williams is checked in. They're looking to extend this run some more.
Yeah, they're operating very efficiently at the moment.
Three-pointer. And it's Junior missing.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Here's Pirtle. San Antonio again missing.
We know how good a shooter he is. It's frustrating for him when he's not able to knock down that kind of wide-open look.
And it's Junior missing. Here's San Antonio now. They trail by 9 to the paint. Pirtle with the bucket.
Yeah, you know, Mills is one of those energizing players who does a little bit of everything, including finding his open teammates.
From deep, Junior. Again, Junior missing. And for San Antonio, they're shooting a solid 50% in the opening quarter. We've got 1:13 left now in the first quarter. Here's Forbes. Looking for his first basket, still in this one. Lyles.
Effective at taking away airspace. Williams' length allows him to cover a lot of ground on defense.
And here's Junior outside. And the Lakers get it back. And Caldwell Pope gets it to go.
That'll drive your coach crazy, failing to box out. Ugh.
Those are 3 points you're giving away. You got to work harder on the glass.
Pass to Pirtle. And the basket good. A bank shot that time. Pirtle's got 6 points. The Lakers in the lead. Junior finds Williams. Back to Junior. The 3 is up. He buries it from 3.
I just love the ball movement.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
You know what? Just watch her. Get that paper she tore up and throw it in the trash.
Lived and died off of blitzes, creative blitzes, especially featuring those inside backers.
Lie down. How can I even understand? I can see that.
You're welcome to use my office. It's pretty easy.
Oh, great. Thank you. We'd like to document this. The first anniversary of her husband's death, and you couldn't give her the day off.
Mel told us both that she wants us to be at home.
She said, very likely she can't do it.
That's great, you know, because
I think she should be in bed under the covers for a week long.
you're not charging Mel if she's an adult. You could have her word.
I'm not going to know, but for the record, I disagree with you.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time. I'm thinking you should go to her every day.
You are before the sun. Why don't you do it again?
As long as it's long enough. You stole a car, you crashed it, and then you missed your shit. So you know, this is something I didn't steal a car. Did you get permission? Oh, Ricky. Steal. I'm in payphone damages. What's going on with you? Come on, you stealing liquor from the bar? You're taking your grandma's car without asking? You're missing work? This isn't like you. I said I was sorry. I have to say that I think you're spending a lot of time with Lizzie, and I'm not sure that that's the best idea. She's got nothing to do with anything. I didn't get in any trouble before she showed up. Listen, all I'm saying is I want to see where she leads you next. Have you ever even had a conversation with her? I never know when you make up your mind. Sometimes you give me a chance. That's not what I'm doing, okay? This is about you. I care about you. But I'm just saying, your experience with women is a little limited. Because you're that. Excuse me? You got your ex-girlfriend pregnant, and you're not with someone else. I don't think you're in the position to be handing out advice on women to anyone. Hey, way out of line. How was that?
Not sure she can get so long. Maybe, you know what? I mean, what? Let's really float out of here. Well, I think we've got some bagels in the kitchen. I've missed one. No, thank you. Jack and I bring breakfast back. Oh, the seed. You should be fun to talk about that body. Her size.
Down the lane, the elder girl.
How did you know about that? Oh,
By the river, you know, there's nothing.
yeah, we're taking a walk. Huh. Where is that?
Last night?
Near Jackie, last night. He lied to me.
What?
When you came over to look at the nursery furniture, you told me that you couldn't stay because you had to go to the bar.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You? Preacher with slam? What is this, National Collection Jack Day?
No, you're right, I just said that. Hey, you went to the bar. Well, I was going to.
So you were with Mel.
Well, yeah, those were. Look, sure, I'm sorry.
Are you sorry? Or are you just sorry you got caught? You know what? We can actually just reschedule this for another day. Hey!
No, I think it's better we do this when you're not so upset.
Well, I'm upset because of you. And you know, I came here for work plans, so I'm not leaving anything. And if you want to make up a reason to leave again, go ahead.
Tonight, did you leave? You're still talking.
How about then having a house and oh, I have another joke. You share a daughter, a lovely her. She said it's an incredible house with a baby and so proud of you for missing out. She said, I know it's been my days. I think someone's baby. Sugar, sugar. Come on, look what I got. You want to give her a carrot or just save her? Sugar. You never realized it's my last. I thought it was strange. Oh, really? You saw her head stuff in your world. No, I know the same thing. Yeah, I know why. Yeah, the stuff. You know, it's the baby with the virgin liver. I don't know what it is. You want to tell me this stuff? Ah, complicated. I don't believe it. Until he died, I had no idea how fast he was going to happen. And it brings me back probably never to share this thing. But I can see, I can see anything. Did you hear? There's no reason to believe it's left.
There's no reason to believe it's not.
It's all right. Even if they do find it, how will it affect you? Good. No immigrants. There might be fire in the Hogan, but there's nothing we can do about that. I know. So, there's someone. Steve Butler. What's your plan?
Finding out what he says is nature is right. I'll tell the sheriff I killed him.
That's
I
great.
won't give him cake.
That's fine. Don't you take the fall with it. Only 10% of felonies end in conviction. 90% of those are because the suspect confessed. They called you in. There's only one thing to do. Deny. Absolutely not.
Let me ask a question. I don't care what I did. I'm not having a duel and deliver our twin to your house in some kiddie pool.
I'm being honest about what I want.
You got nothing to do. My finger generally whispers.
For the most part, yes.
Knows your star.
Twins are more likely to be born innocent. And there's a greater chance that at least one of the babies will be in a breech position or on their side, and in that case, you would have them do a cesarean.
And then what happens to you surgery?
That is 10 hours away. And did you know the infection rate of home birth is less than 1 in the hospital?
What do you get?
There are undeniable advantages to delivering in a hospital. Access to emergency care is first and foremost, but confirming a patient being in a hospital doesn't mean you can do it. So, you know what? I'm going to go check her for you and give you guys some time to figure out what you want to do.
Hey, I don't you need to supply your order?
You didn't get fired from your shift?
No, but I got to see the customer. Yes. Yes, that's what we're calling. Oh, you don't have to do that. Appreciate you using that bar, so.
How are you doing? I made it through 365 days. Well, honey, you should not be alone today. No, I'm not. I'm at work. And I'm okay. You know, in the park and thinking about it. And that. What happened on the other side of that? The other side? Let me know when you're done breathing.
talk to her. Just want to make sure she's fully informed before making a decision. Of course. Thank you. Good luck. I'm gonna slow it anyway. Official marital business? Just that this dinner seems important.
Come on, babe.
What I'm into. I have to be here all the time.
Come on.
Yes, we are living our relationship. Another try. Why?
Well, Carrie,
Regardless, that's not a choice.
like an old married couple.
We tried that once. Didn't work out.
Well, some things need time to marinate before they're ready to go.
You got any food-related metaphors up your sleeve?
Good night.
I have no idea you're sober. Look, I'm only telling you this because I just want to give you a different perspective so that you can make the best decision for your life. I still haven't gotten over losing my daughter. I don't think that I ever will. I understand. Which is why I want to make sure that you take every precaution. You know, I'm a nurse. My midwife, my husband was a doctor. We knew the risks. We did everything right, and I still learned myself. I think if I had done anything unconventional, I never would have been able to do it. So what do you think you should do? I think that we should find a safest option that still allows you to feel secure. Okay. I also want you to know that I can't deliver on staying with you for Jack. I wanted to make sure it was okay after you guys left. Still, you can tell it's really good until I call to let it. How am I supposed to trust him? He's their father. When the twins are born, you're gonna want him to know.
Oh, they're still inside, working on the road.
Okay.
And Jack pawned the dog off.
Anyway, I came to let you know that I made dinner reservations.
Oh, where?
Jack?
You want to go to Jack?
No. Might as well rip off the band-aid. People are going to talk on Fox.
Actually, I made a reservation myself.
The only other restaurant this side of my reservation is Chili's, and they have place.
I made this food.
Jack, can you do it?
Oh, you like it?
You sure it's worth the consideration?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Give me an umbrella.
Okay. Oh, Tucker, you and your dad. staff have created equipment and
Okay.
Their Charmaine will deliver care to play with you and your equipment.
That's a good idea. We will counteract your anxiety.
And there will be an ambulance on standby to take Charmaine and baby to Grace Valley if necessary.
Good. What do you think? Charmaine.
Oh, I'd rather deliver at home, but
Good. That's what you better do.
if you'll excuse me, I've been up since 3:30, so I'm going to take a break.
Hey, Mel. Thank you, sir. Not my Charmaine. We really couldn't think of another way to do this.
Oh, no, I'm glad we got it figured out.
Well, I just think you should be focusing on yourself.
You know what? I got to deliver a beautiful baby boy this morning. That's it.
So, can I bring you the Charmaine?
Outside Mills. Pass to Lyles. Rebound by the Lakers. And going against San Antonio, their first meeting of the year.
Well, last year they swept the season series. There was a talent differential between the two teams. We'll see if that gap has narrowed.
I mean, one is a playoff team. The other, question mark, ... not so much. But things change, and you're only as good as your last win. So we'll see how they handle things tonight.
They've shown so much energy right from the...
Up on him.
You think there's a point at which it'll snap back to the other direction?
You know, B.A., that's a great point. I mean, I think back to the 90s when I played, and the game was at a snail's pace. It was a grinded-out defensive battle, and slowly over the years, the tempo has picked up. As you said, each and every year it's increased. But I do think at some point, the pendulum will swing back, and we'll get back to a little bit more a little bit less pace in terms of how the game is played. I don't think we're there yet, but we're getting close. The game constantly evolves in some form or fashion, and I believe that we'll kind of get back to maybe a little bit more of a slower pace at some point in the future.
Yeah, the kind of game we see in the playoffs.
Exactly.
And so in the game for Los Angeles, they've got Dennis Schroeder. Anthony Davis is out there with Junior. Then there's LeBron James. And it's Caruso in at the 2. Outside Mills. Los Angeles has gone 3 for 7 from the perimeter during the second quarter. Pass to Murray. 17-foot shot on the way. Rebound by the Lakers. Davis has got his 6th rebound on the night.
Not much falling for him this quarter, guys, and you can sense his frustration.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
For Montrezl Harrell, a second-round pick in 2015, his motor has overcome any lack of size. He said, quote, "I'm not someone who shies away from contact or tries to make the game pretty. I have the mindset of being a dog. I put myself up against anybody there is. I don't care who." Guys, no fear there.
Well, you got to like that attitude, Allie. Molly, thanks. And here's Junior outside. That falls. Nice feed that time from James. James has got assist number 7 tonight. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
Oh, it's stolen. Junior outside. Pass to Davis. This one for 3. And finished off by Davis.
When Davis gets going like this, there's no way you can stop him, giving you his entire package right now.
Gay up top from the high post. And he gets the friendly roll as that one goes. Gay's gotten 4 this quarter.
Boy, he's doing everything he can at this point. The rest of his teammates need to step up and give him some help.
And that one's good. Junior.
He's certainly been their go-to guy when it matters most. He's trying to close this one out.
Left side Mills. And so far in this one, 2 for 4.
You know, Mills is not just a long-range gunner now. He can score on the move, too. Underestimate Mills at your own peril.
Gets a hand on it. Great positioning on the putback. Davis has got 22.
I'll tell you what, they've rebounded the ball tremendously well.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Here's Mills. The three-pointer off the mark. Mills has gone 2 of 5 from the floor. And here's Junior outside. Drops in the 3. Junior's got 38 points.
I love it. Just thumbing his nose at the height disadvantage, he's able to get the space he needs and convert.
And you look at him, he's given up an awful lot of size in that matchup, so he needs to have the ability to create separation.
And it's Lyles missing. Los Angeles shooting the rock well in the second quarter. 55% from the floor. From deep, Junior. They get it back. Second shot opportunity. Rebounded by the Spurs. Fresh off a win against the Warriors.
And it wasn't just their starters putting in work. Their backups were real spark plugs on offense.
Absolutely, especially on the road when you need those guys off the bench to up the ante.
Well, when you watch Anthony Davis play, Grant, he just moves like someone only half his size.
Think about this, B.A. He has the gait and quickness of a guard. And, of course, everyone knows that he was a point guard well into his high school career. But he grew almost a foot in a few years and became the player he is today. All 5 of the last buckets they've given up have been from downtown.
Well, the defense just hasn't pressed up to deny any of those looks, guys. I mean,
Caldwell Pope's checked in for the Lakers. And the Spurs with possession here. There's 42 seconds left to play in the first half of basketball. Up top, Mills, covered by Schroeder. Cash, Mills with the bucket.
Boy, pushing the action on the screen and roll. Mills gets the space he needs to finish.
James finds Junior, fires the 3. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Davis.
Embarrassing lapse of judgment there.
San Antonio's gone 0 for 3 from deep to begin the second. Oh, stolen by Junior. Fires for 3. Sends it home from three-point land. Junior's got 44.
Adjustment time for these guys. The defense has to make some adjustment here.
Pass to Pirtle. Off with the layup. He gets it up. And he can't get that one. So as we conclude the first half, a fairly one. Pirtle's checked in for Aldridge. Lyles comes in for Gay. Johnson, he's checked in for White. And it's Mills in for Murray. And a new group getting ready for the Lakers. Bell, he's checked in for Gasol. Junior comes in for Anthony Davis. For Schroeder. And Caldwell Pope is subbed in for Caruso. Jakob Poeltl out there with Trey Lyles. Then there's Patrick Mills, and it's Johnson in at the small forward position. That's who's in the game for the Spurs.
They're looking good, really good right now because of him. He sees this game by the throat, and he's squeezing hard.
Hits the trifecta. Johnson's got 7 points for the quarter.
Could have been much better defense. I mean, you can't give this guy any room to operate.
From deep, Junior, that falls. Nice feed that time from James.
Like the sun rising every day, you can count on LeBron to have his head up scanning the floor and finding the open man.
And the Spurs call time here. Well, granted, 6'8", you played mostly the small forward position. When we talk about the best player in the league, it seems more often than not, a small forward is mentioned.
And B.A., I think part of that is how the game has evolved over the years. 25 years ago, the thought process was you played inside out. You had to have a great big man to give you a chance to have success. Nowadays, as it's become more about perimeter play, spacing, and of course having guys who can do a number of things within that system, a small forward like a LeBron James or Kevin Durant kind of fit the mold of what you need to have great success in this league. So yeah, I think that plays a huge role in why the small forward position is so important to today's success.
Inside, here's Poeltl, and the dunk by Poeltl.
Well, Poeltl is a guy that plays with a lot of force. I mean, when he's near the basket, the defense better watch out for the dunk.
Pass to Caldwell Pope. Junior outside. Shot clock at 6. Hey, great communication on the lob.
Oh, what a pass. Those two read each other really well.
Looks like a play they've definitely run in practice.
And as the receiver, he doesn't feel the need to go for the monster finish that time. I mean, laying it up for the 2 points worked out just
He's going to miss around inside.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean,
we all got the same goal. We all head the same direction, so we all got a part to play. Absolutely. You know, you mentioned that, you know, the NBA was able to ring the bubble and make it a success with nobody getting sick and continuing to press the message. What do you feel like the NFL can learn from not necessarily the bubble, because we know the NFL can't do a bubble, but kind of continuing to empower its players and allowing them to be really voices that are heard? Because there's a lot of superstars in the NFL, but the NFL is never really good.
Defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Puts up a 3, and the Lakers hit again from deep.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
San Antonio's gotten 12 of their points this quarter from deep, 4 of 6. Takes a 3, and it's Lyles missing.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good.
Clean that up. No problem. Short. This is on.
But the certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
First question, how are you doing? I don't see that in the NFL right now. I see some little messages here and there, but I don't see that. Like, even to give you an example, you know, on Instagram the other day, they said, you know, say their stories. That's not the movement. That's not what we're saying. It's saying say her name. Saying his name. But see, the NFL, we do this thing where we try to act like we're participating, but we're not really participating. We're just trying to, let's give them enough. You understand what I'm saying? Check the box. Let's check the box. What is this? Like, I don't know who sat in that room, even something like this. Are they doing a better job? Yes, they're doing a better job. I feel like they was forced to do it. When I look at something as simple as that, like, why do we got to change the name and say, you know, say their stories? I never saw that on a t-shirt. I don't know what that is. I know say her name, right? But it's too controversial, right? It's too political. think sometimes we straddle the fence in the NFL.
I think you hit it on the head, too, because, you know, more likely than not, and no, I mean, I'd say the NFL owners, too, but I think your guys' owners stand almost on the exact opposite side of most of the players, you know, of the majority of the players. So when it gets to talking about police brutality, or it gets to talking about the victims of police brutality, you know, these owners are aligned with a president or hopefully a former president soon that sees nothing wrong with it. You know, that sees nothing wrong with what these police are doing. And this isn't a problem that obviously this administration has created, because this has been going on for a long time. But the fact that they don't condemn it is a problem, and it continues to leave the door open for other issues.
Yeah, I mean, when do we put people over politics? You know, so like, I can look at it, you know, we all made money, and to me, it's like, you know, people want to talk about, well, what about the taxes? Or what about the market? And then it's like, yeah, I understand that, but what about my life?
What about people? I mean, we was lucky. I think too often that people, like, we're lucky enough to make it out, like you said, but too often, and I'm not saying anyone on here, but sometimes when you make it out and make that money, you forget that you were the lucky one. And there's a whole shitload of motherfuckers just like you that didn't make it out. So that's what we're looking out for, and that's what we're thinking about when we're talking about, are we talking about lives or taxes? Like, come on, man, are we talking about hate or taxes? Like, to me, there's no comparison. We were lucky enough, and yeah, we all want to keep our money because it was so hard to earn, and you have to keep up with stuff. But at the end of the day, we were fortunate to be able to have a savings, to have money to put to the side, when the majority of the world doesn't.
Jody. I'm Chef Greg. I'm Chef John. Over the next week, Kingsford and Rectex are going to be using the delicious Kingsford maple pellet on all of our recipes that we want you to try this holiday season. Don't forget to subscribe and watch. Happy Thanksgiving!
And a lot of people don't understand, it's a lot of people that's in the undeveloped state. Like, we so worried about building these buildings and developing the structure and how this place looks, but we're not worried about developing the people. And I think once we get back to developing the people and caring about the people more, we'll start going in the right direction. I agree. 100%. 100%. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens in the next couple hours. Look, he got Wisconsin, right, and Michigan, so look like everything body with everything got.
Look out. Question, you know, this is a transition Jack and I made. Obviously, you've made it seamlessly too, but did you find it strange or difficult to start covering and talking about the NFL at any point post-career?
I'll be honest with you. I never shared this with anybody, only my wife.
So, all the smoke exclusive.
Yeah, bro, every time I'm on Inside the NFL sitting next to Ray Lewis, Phil Simms, and we bring in Mike Irvin, and we talk about Hall of Fame, we talk about, you know, championships and all of that, that's when it gets awkward for me. Because I get angry, you know what I mean? Like that competitive stuff that we talked about earlier in the show, like that's still there. So that's the only time that I feel a little weird talking about football, where, you know, we can laugh and joke about it, but at the end of the day, like, it's not a game, right? So we'll make fun of it. It's almost like the Charles Barkley effect, right? You know, it's like, Charles, like, you never won a championship. You know how Shaq be getting on him. So, like, for me, you know, that's the biggest thing for me when I think about football. It's like, I'm over it. I still probably go out there and catch a couple balls 100%, but I'm over football. I love what I'm doing right now, but it's just the simple fact that I had a goal and I wasn't able to accomplish that. So like, when I see it, it's like, man, I'm still working through that. I gotta be honest with you, man. It's you know, I'm good because it wasn't like I just start transitioning now. Back in 2014, I spent 3 months with Harvard and Anita Alberse looking at athletes who made that transition and what did they do. And I was preparing there. So I was there on Showtime for 7 years. I opened this up in 2012. We started scaling this in 2014. So, you know, I was already on top of it, but, you know, that's the only thing, man, that keeps me up at night is like, man, like, I never won a big one.
Well, you mentioned watching Inside the NFL, which is obviously a part of the Showtime family. Jack and I were fortunate enough to come on your guys' show last month. What I thought was so dope was just the chemistry between you guys, between you and Ray talking shit, to Phil and talking big. Hey, Phil talks big shit, and then Phil's funny, dog. Hey, Phil is funny because I didn't know. I just knew Phil as a quarterback. I never got a chance to meet him. He's cool, down to earth, talk shit, and then JB will throw a jab in there with his OG self every once in a while. But that dynamic between you and Ray is funny. Talk to us about, obviously your team over there inside the NFL.
Yeah, and man, we approach like it's a locker room, and we've been together for 6-7 years. Like, Ray came in a year later, but like we've been together that long. So the more you're around each other, the chemistry and the continuity just builds. So the way we approach it is like we're still competing. Like I'll come in and I'm like, don't just check the box, don't just clock in. Like we going to go win a championship. Y'all won y'all championship. This is my championship. I'm trying to get a sports MVP. So I don't want to hear no.
Talk to him.
What I'm saying?
Talk to him.
Right? It really is. It's the chemistry and it's the continuity, and I think that's what makes a really good show. And we like each other, man, and we're able to push each other, call each other out on certain things, hold each other accountable, which makes even better TV.
Yeah, I think that's been our secret sauce too. Is people, how do you recreate all the smoke? But I think it's the chemistry me and Jack share, that we can talk shit to each other, crack jokes, be back and forth, be mad at each other sometimes, but the love we have for each other never wavers. So when we're in our element, we're unfuckwittable. You know what I mean? I think that's the key. Yeah, right. So who has, up to this point, I mean, obviously no fans. The season's been a little different this year, but there's definitely some teams that are standing out. Are there any teams or players in particular that have stood out or caught your eye by surprise this year?
Yeah, so preseason predictions. I love the thought of what the Steelers could do, and now they stand here undefeated.
Okay, hold on, B. So you mean to tell me, at the beginning of the season, you said that Pittsburgh was going to be undefeated right now?
I'm going to tell you all of my predictions preseason. I'm going to tell you yes, to answer your question, yes. Seattle Seahawks was my team that I picked on Inside the NFL and First Things First. I said Seattle Seahawks will come out the NFC. I said Russell Wilson will be the MVP. I said the Pittsburgh Steelers will be my AFC contender. I said I also like the Colts. As a dark horse, I like the Tennessee Titans, right? So that was my preseason pick. I said the Saints will bust. And they hanging on. For real.
Well, one thing we know, you know football.
Well, hey, it's hard to get some preseason predictions right, but I just think that the Pittsburgh Steelers, I still need to see Big Ben. Sometimes Big Ben revert back to that backyard football stuff and just throw them around. You got a good defense, man. Play smart, protect the ball, throw it away sometimes.
What do you think about the Chiefs coming off the Super Bowl, coming off Patrick Mahomes, and he's really doing his thing? What do you think about them being able to pick up Le'Veon Bell?
All right, so let me ask you this question. When you think about the Chiefs, what's the first thing you think about? Like, this team is dope because of what? Mahomes, bam, right? So what I love about the Chiefs is that now they're finding different ways to win. We know that Mahomes is dope. We know that he can throw for 400 yards a game, put up 40 points. But now before they added Le'Veon, they was running the ball well. They was winning on defense. They was winning on special teams. To me, they're a better team this year than they was last year because they're more complete. So now you put Le'Veon there. How you go?
Well rested.
2 years.
Well rested too.
What? Yeah, he ain't get no work. How you go 2 years with the Jets? Almost 2 years with the Jets, and you never had one rush over 15 yards, and you did it twice in your first game with the Chiefs. Come on, man. He never had
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Think about that. So, is it a nice pickup? Yes. And we can talk for another hour about, this topic because he's also one of the best wide receivers in the game. Look at how he runs routes and catch the ball. He can do everything. This is scary, man. They haven't even, really released him yet. Let me ask you, what about Tampa? Buck,
today was AB's first practice. You know what I mean? So he's out there laughing with the guys. I want to know your thought. I don't know if you personally know him. I know he's had obviously some ups and downs on the field, a lot of downs off the field. I'm glad that he got a chance to kind of redeem himself. I know Tom fought his ass off to get him. What do you think will happen with AB over in Tampa Bay?
I think he'll be fine, man. But the reality is, you know, it takes a lot of work, you know what I mean, to grow as a man.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
You know, Patty Mills is one of a long line of outstanding Australian players who played their college ball in Northern California at St. Mary's College. What a competitor. He's been looking for a shot.
Crash ball. NBA 2K21.
Look over here, bro.
Deficit. They're trying to be more aggressive and get themselves to the line.
That's exactly when you need to be aggressive. You know that. I mean, another good job, though, of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line.
And Junior gets it to go.
Hard to win games when you allow clean looks from the...
Junior, you're on fire from downtown tonight.
Oh, man.
Once they suspended him, he got off of all social media. Now, this is a guy for 3 years. Social media has been actually counterproductive for him and pulling him down. And so, like, that's the only sign that he's getting it is that the last 4 months he hasn't done anything digitally, and that you know that's hard for him. So hopefully he started to work. He's still doing the work, and he'll get through this and get his career back on track, his life back on track, and it seems like everything be good.
I have a question though. You know, obviously never playing in the NFL. I know plugging in a player in the NBA is somewhat difficult, but there's not as many guys, so he can find his footing faster. How hard is it to be plugged in the NFL because there's so many more players that are on the field?
Yeah, I think it's difficult for a quarterback. Like if you're asking a quarterback to come in, it's like learning a new language. But a wide receiver slant route is a slant route. Right. It's all about like body. It's probably the same in all sports, but like it's like body language. You know, when I get to the top of my route, you know, like what indicators am I giving my quarterback that he knows, okay, let me let it go right now. A slant route's a slant route. A go route's a go route. It's all about me to be on the same page. And the hard part is like it got to the point with me and Jay Cutler. Like Jay Cutler would just look at me, and I knew what he wanted me to do. I would have a slant route on. He would just look out, give me an eye, and I'll go run a go. Like we didn't have to give any hand signals, we didn't have to talk, right? And that's just that chemistry that built over the years. But like coming in and being able to, to contribute right away, he'll be able to do that. Look, he did that in the half in New England. Went in there, 54 yards in a half, a touchdown, then obviously the next week he threw it, and then he was out of there. So Tom and him already have a connection, so that would expedite the process. But I would say that the quarterback position would be a position where it's like, we need some time with him.
Gotcha.
Just having somebody to have your back, and then not only having your back, it's Tom Brady. You got